I'm just wondering, does that actually happen? And also, how did the Irish doctors come together, and how long did it take? And have you got any good stories from making it?
Yeah, the Irish doctors came together because Peter had done a video to explain his absence from a convention in Los Angeles about 4 years ago. And he did a very, very funny video for the fans at that convention from his dressing room in the theatre in London where he was playing. And it's still online, so do look at it, because it's very funny. And he did another one the following year, and he loves technology and his camera, and he always has his movie camera with him. And we kept ringing each other up, Paul, myself, Peter and Sylvester, saying, have you heard anything about the 50th? No. Have you? No. And we began to realise that we were not going to be called up for it. So Peter said, let's do our own. We were all at a convention somewhere, and he did a bit of filming of fans, and he had some funny ideas, and it grew from there. And then he sat down and wrote a script and sent it to us, and we all said, let's get our families involved and things like that. So it grew and grew and grew. I mean, it was longer than it was, and we cut it down. There was some stuff we had to sacrifice to keep it to half an hour. But I have to take my hat off to Peter for his directing skills, his producing skills, and his writing skills, because it hangs together really well. And also for persuading all those people. You know, I got to the point where I think Stephen Moffat knew he had to be in it, otherwise it would look as if he didn't approve of it. And he was in it, and he was very funny, and so was Peter Jackson in it. I mean, amazing to get him in it, and it just works stupendously. I think we did about 5 or 6 days filming. We did a couple of days in London, a bit with John Barrowman, and the bit that was supposed to be at a convention was in the room at the BBC. And we did some stuff at conventions before that. And then we did 2 days down in Cardiff in the studios. And it was great to actually be on the set. And you know, obviously we met Matt and whatever the girl's name is, I forgot the name. Jenna Coleman, yeah. Who were lovely. And David was there as well, because Peter's daughter is married to David, and she was producing it, so she made David, when they filmed at my house, David came along to help. So there was Peter, myself and David in my garden, and my daughters were all going, David Tennant's here. I don't know why girls like David Tennant, but they do. Yes, there you are. Oh, David Tennant! He's lovely and he's very good. Nice man. But it's quite genuine. I think one of my daughters has definitely seen my doctoring stuff. 2 of them definitely haven't. And when I was... They grew up after I finished. So every now and then, doctoring wasn't on television. They'd say, oh, it's boring, there's nothing on television. And I'd say, oh, everything's on Barrows, is rather good. No, they wouldn't. And then he came back, and they'd seen a couple of episodes with Christopher Eccleston, and one of my daughters said, Doctor Who? Is that the thing you were in? I said, yes. He said, what did you play? I said, the Doctor! And they went, oh! And suddenly I got a bit of respect in my own home. But they still haven't watched them. Then my third daughter, Larry, has a long drive of a commute. She works at an animal hospital in London. So she has a kind of 1.5 hour, 2 hour commute each way. And she's listening to the big finishes now on audio. And she's been really excited by that. So I may get more respect in my own home, you never know. But the Adventures on Barrows thing was actually a bit of an in-joke, because they actually haven't seen it. My wife saw it when it went out, but she's not a sci-fi fan, so she hasn't seen it since. Hello, young man.
When Sylvester McCoy came here, he said that you didn't turn up for the regeneration.
Correct. Well, it wasn't I didn't turn up. I refused. It wasn't that I was booked to do it. I'll tell you what happened. When I finished in the series, they said, will you come back to do the regeneration scene 6 months from now? They wanted to book me for 2 days, 6 months ahead. I said, no, I'll come back and do the whole series and go at the end of it, but no, I'm not going to just come back and do 2 days regeneration scene. I was hacked off. I was not happy with them and the way I'd been treated, so I didn't see any reason to help them out, which means, of course, as I was not there, I am still the Doctor. Sylvester McCoy lying inside my coat with a curly wig on does not make a regeneration. So he's the first of a new renegade line of doctors. And I am now the longest serving doctor because I've been doing it for 31 years. Yes! Will you march behind me? Are you the 6 doctors, men and women? Yes! We are the 6s, what are we? Sixes! Yes! Love ya! And to finish off, as it turned out, I did a play the following year which ran for a whole year, and I wouldn't have been free to do it anyway. So, and I wouldn't have been able to do that play if I'd said yes to it. But I was angry. What do you want? What do you want? One last question.
Who is your favourite enemy?
My favourite enemy? Bill. Bill, because he's stopping me from talking to you now. I'll tell you who I like best. They weren't in my time, the adipose. I love the adipose, and I've got a lovely collection of them, which I will share with you if you like, when they fall off me. The other ones I like were the Slitheen. Wonderful monsters with wings. Are you a Slitheen? I've never known Bill lacking in words. You know, this is the man who made today possible. Without this man, you wouldn't have been queuing for 16 hours outside. It's all down to him. No, he's the guy who takes the risk, brings us over here, pays for all those expensive airfares for all of us actors, sticks us in hotels for 2 weeks, and hope that enough of you come in order to cover his costs, because otherwise he loses his house. So he puts it on the line for you guys. So thank you for turning up, because he's a good guy.
As an old school Doctor Who fan, it does my heart proud to see so many old school Doctor Who fans here. A huge round of applause for both Doctor Who and Colin Baker. Now Colin will be signing autographs over there shortly. We're running a little late on the photos. They should be back, but it's going to be closer to 4 o'clock, I think. So, and we're just give us a couple of minutes to set up the fear factor, which we'll be pulling people out of the audience. So, you can wait along the side bits if you like. Thank you.
What are you writing?